Hi there, Aquarius. I'm not sure what happened to my little camera. I think I just ran out of room. However, I did my little opening and I got all your cards out and they're so beautiful. So I'm actually just going to continue, if that's okay. I'm just going to remind everyone that this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You can always check out your moon and rising signs in addition to your sun sign just for extra clarity or in case this isn't resonating with you. This is for the week of September 19th to the 26th. I promise you that I shuffled and these fell out the way that they're sitting here. I just, for whatever reason, I think there was too many videos and it cut off. So these were here. I was only a minute, maybe 2 minutes into it. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to continue going with what we have here. I'm using the medicine cards for your main spread as always, and then drawing additional message cards from from the Wisdom of the Oracle and the Healing with the Angels Oracle here. So let's just get a little idea of what's going on here with all these cards together, and then we'll look at them individually. We're looking at situations of being so gracious, like so gracious and accepting and really understanding what you want and where you belong and what you're willing to give. And in addition to that, what you're willing to accept, like your boundaries are really strong. But you're not doing anything through aggression. You're not having to put your foot down in a situation this week, for example. It's just that people won't approach you in an alarming way. There's almost no need this week for you to... You're not going to get upset about much this week because even the people who are around you or that you're interacting with are going to be rather kind or gentle with you, probably because you're emitting that. They can feel this from you. You're feeling gentle is what I'm trying to say. There's a gentleness within you. This is where you're stemming from. You're able to see the beauty in gentleness as opposed to being afraid by that or turned off by that. Like we've been taught through mass media, through our education system. I mean, gentleness is weakness, you know. You want to be tough and that's the way to get by. I don't think you, even if you did buy that concept at one point, you see through it. And you reject it. And there's a power in that, okay? That's where the power is. The power is in the gentleness. The power is in knowing exactly what you want, not being confused. And I'm going to take that a step further and even suggest, not being depressed, there is a social anxiety, I think that everyone has, but not allowing that to stop you. There's a certain faith or fortitude, okay? Like an inner strength that you have to get through anything. And I think that there is the sense that I get is that you're heeding something larger than yourself. We can say it's a higher calling, or we can say that it's, like a karma that you're aware of and you're willing to accept and to live out. You may even be called upon this week to talk to somebody about this, or to relate your story somehow, or to walk through someone else through a trying situation who could be in process of learning what you've already learned here. But it also could just be that you are able to vocalize or communicate through any medium, frankly, with the masses. So if there's something that you feel that you could be sharing with others, either one or many other people, about these experiences or how important these concepts are for you, it could be a good week for you to do that as well. I'd feel very confident doing that this week. And then overall, I don't think you're going to appreciate maybe large crowds this week, especially being an Aquarius, you're a natural in groups. That's just the way it is. People love Aquarians. The ironic part about it is that Aquarians are pretty meh about it, which I've always found kind of humorous and ironic, that, you know, everyone wants an Aquarian for their best friend, but Aquarians will usually just say, "That's nice," and then not take it too seriously, which is a great deal of freedom, personal freedom. So you might have people in your looking for advice or looking to talk to you this week just because you're that kind of soul and you appear to have some things figured out. If you feel like it and you have the energy, you know, take them up, even if it's one by one, take them up. But like I said here, if there is something you feel like you could be sharing with a few other people, maybe make it a sort of a one-shot deal, maybe a book or a video, and share it so that everyone can hear it kind of at once and you're not sort of bombarded by a bunch of people at once. And then generally, for general energy, there's this feeling of sort of keeping to yourself or feeling a bit introspective here. Maybe you're just in continuing the process of learning here and greater personal development. I say greater because, you know, I've been reading for your sign weekly since April, and this is an ongoing theme for you. A great deal of personal development here and no resistance, okay? This is probably the most important part of personal development, notwithstanding the zodiac sign, right? Is, you know, I accept, okay? This is my role. This is the part I'm playing on Earth in this incarnation, and you're just very accepting of that. And you could be feeling very prayerful about it, or feel like if it's not karmic, or that's not the word you're using, that there's some sort of divinity involved, that there's, if I hadn't said higher calling, that's certainly an avenue that you could take here too, that you feel, you know, that there's something deeper and something greater about what you know and what you're supposed to be doing here, and you accept it. It's very brave. It's very bold. Buffalo in your central position, this represents you this week. This is prayer and abundance. This is when I'm seeing this sense of just feeling so confident. And I mean, this is such a glorious animal. If you've ever seen a buffalo, I haven't in person, only on video, but they're just magnificent. There's something, well, frankly, with all wild animals, but there's just something about the buffalo. I mean, they're just magnificent. They're majestic. They're ancient. There's something, you know, so wise about them. And of course, if we're looking at the symbology of buffalo in Native tradition, we can see in terms of the term, with regard to the terms that the authors used, prayers and abundance, this is the animal that was used for ceremonial reasons and, of course, to keep people alive. This is, this and bear, frankly, are some of the most popular totem animals in Native tradition, at least in Canada. I'm not sure about the United States, but there could be some semblance of familiarity there as well. So we're looking at just being taken care of. You have the basics. At the very least, the basics are taken care of. You feel prayerful because you accept that you're a spiritual being, and you feel abundant because you know that you're provided for. And at the very least, if not someone else is providing for you, that you are highly capable and in process of taking care of all of your at least basic needs here. So, and we also know that self-actualization can only occur when when any human being's basic needs are met. So this is very definitive here for you as a current position for you. You understand full and well that your basic needs are met. You needn't worry about food, lodging, clothing, friendships, love, affection, housing, if I already didn't say that, opportunities in travel or business or work environment. So I think that you feel on an intuitive level, and you probably see on a material level, that you want for nothing. So when you start from that place, that's an already, you're not like scrounging for food and water down here. You're not worried about surviving. That's taken care of. So now you can keep growing on what's already a foundation in your life. So the beautiful thing about this here, Aquarius, as well, is that, like I said, you accept it. Many people, millions of people, have all the basics taken care of, but don't accept the responsibility for self-actualization, okay? For whatever reason, that's a non-judgment call. I just mean that what I'm seeing here, and it's ongoing, according to these readings, that you willingly accept it, and there's a definitive beauty about that. There's a courage, there's a warrior spirit there. That's quite beautiful, and it's very attractive, and it's the stuff of life, right? Like, that's the spark of life. That's purpose, right? That feels like purpose. And that's a very beautiful thing. All those millions of people with all their ducks in a row, and they still don't have purpose, So really feel confident that you're much farther ahead than you may believe that you are right now, if that is at all a thought crossing your mind. Deer is in the influence position to your current situation. This is gentleness. This is where I'm seeing that you see through the garbage. You just see it. You're like, yeah, I can be tough. I can be mean. I can do things that aren't cool or right to get my own way or to get ahead. And not only do you not care about that, but you actually reject it. You're saying, you know what? No, I choose gentleness. This is power. This is power. Because gentleness is based in love, okay? Aggression or trickery, that type of thing, that's based in fear. And this is not part of your makeup. You just don't have any time for it. That's what I say. Like, none of what I'm saying is unusual or confusing you at all. I think you're just sitting there and you're like, yeah, I know. I wish other people understood this too. I do too. I wish other people, and I think they are. I think it's because of anybody raising their own vibration, anyone creating that ripple effect in the world is really going to help other people. And this is where I see that you're probably, if not at the end of this week, physically doing this. Really give it some thought. Give it some thought about being a messenger, sharing your experiences or your knowledge or your viewpoints, why you see things a certain way, or what you've had to do to see through certain things, right? Maybe some of it is part of your makeup as an Aquarian, but I'm going to suggest that, we're all creatures of media, we're all creatures of socialization. You would have had to, on some level, work through something or reject something. Especially as an adult. We've all been through the system, right? So if you know something that could benefit other people here, or society at large, maybe start putting pen to paper or contemplate making your own videos or maybe a documentary or something to that degree here. But at the very least, communicate with at least one other person here. They'd be very excited for you, and they'll understand this, and you might even feel better at the end of it, especially if you are feeling a little bit isolated or a little bit alone, or just feeling like you have to withdraw because it is a little bit lonely, right? There is a sense of, seeing through things, and then you're surrounded by people who don't see through things. So that can feel a little isolating. If that's the case, do reach out. If you are comfortable in that space, however, stay in that space. Do some meditation. Do some more contemplating. This is hibernation. Of course, we have here with bear, and bear's keyword is, I was going to say solitude, but that's not what it is. Introspection. Okay, so we're looking at introspection, getting deeper into the self, probably through meditation, but also learning about yourself through interaction with other people as well. So like I said at the very start, you're really great in crowds. It's natural for you, but you may not want that this week for whatever reason. Really respect that. You don't need to be out in, groups or dealing with a bunch of other people's energy this week if that's not where you want to be. If you think this is a good week for further introspection or learning more about a process, or understanding where to go next, or even contemplating this, this idea of acting as a messenger could be pretty exciting here. I would have a whole lot more faith in yourself, Aquarius, that you can do this, that you're good at it, that you have something special to offer, and that you are, generally speaking, further ahead, very probably emotionally, certainly spiritually. That's what I'm seeing going on here as well. You might just need to take stock here as well. You might, this might, you're like, well, I want to formulate this and turn it into something, of course, but you might need to take stock of how far you've come and what you've learned. Clean it up. This is just a little bit of humility and getting rid of garbage from your past. This is really just old karmic energy, old negative thoughts, old patterns of belief or processes. It could be relationships as well, if work, romance, everything in between, family, of course. There could be a conversation that you need to have here, and you want to sort of go within first before you have the conversation. Of course, you're going to want to be gentle about that and know that you're provided for. Maybe you just need to make something known to at least one other person this week to further enhance understanding. And again, you're ultimately going to learn more about yourself, even through happenstance. Even if that's not the motivation for the communication here, you'll learn more about yourself. And of course, by virtue of communicating something or trying to get to the bottom of something here, whether it's with another person or on your own, you'll know even more clearly what it is you want and who you want to be around, and how you feel when you're on your own or when you're with those other people. So this is just really being willing to give up the ghost. You want to get rid of things that aren't working for you anymore, or old patterns of behavior here. This is divine power. It says power here, but the only other card with divine here in the deck is divine timing. And actually the authors wrote that this is about source generator, okay? When this is God. When the artist painted this, they painted this as God. This is God's power behind you. This is source. This is spirit, however you look at that energy, creator energy. So you're really protected here. You're really guided. And if you at all feel you have something special that you need to offer, or that you have a story to tell, or that you're willing to go deep within to continue to be that gentle being that the world is benefiting from energetically right now, feel confident that that's true. Okay, Aquarius, that's very much true. So keep going. Keep going. I'm really excited to hear from you, to see if this makes sense to you. And so please comment below if you have a second. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel, because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care, Aquarius. Bye for now.